These two bullet points, as simple as it may seem, have profound meaning. Listen, normally, body fluid volume. How do you control this? Let me bring in the hormone aldosterone. With aldosterone, when it kicks in, it wants to do what? Reabsorb the sodium. As soon as you reabsorb sodium, wow, does it affect osmolarity? Or does it affect more the volume? Interesting, huh? For example, if you talk about aldosterone and increasing blood pressure, and you're reabsorbing your sodium, does that increase more of your systolic or diastolic blood pressure? Meaning to say that sodium fluid comes in, it puts more fluid or volume into the heart, you increase your stretch, thus you increase your systolic blood pressure. So there, I need you to understand how profound it is to say that sodium balance then regulates your volume. Aldosterone would be your prime example of a hormone. Versus, now here, the theme of this sentence is osmolarity. The primary determinant for this, of course, being your sodium concentration. Regulated by, well, this would be osmolarity. So what hormone are you thinking about here? What are those called by the hypothalamus that detects the osmolarity of the plasma? Oh, I believe they're called osmoreceptors. Oh, voila, there it is. So osmoreceptors is then going to regulate the release of ADH, but then what does ADH do? Only works to reabsorb water. And so the water then dictates as to what happens to the osmolarity. Fascinating statements, aren't they? The common theme, the first statement, aldosterone, being an example. The second one would be ADH. Let's further move on. Regulation of water, key points. Changes in sodium balance does what? Changes the volume status. We just got done talking about aldosterone. Changes in water balance, then changes your sodium concentration. We have osmolarity. Certain pathologic conditions in which, well, let me ask you something. What is the most tightly regulated type of parameter? Would it be the volume or more so the osmolarity on a regular basis between you and I right now? Here I am, and I am lecturing my butt off for a number of hours. And as I do so, then I can expect there to be evaporation of water? Sure. So therefore, on a regular basis, do you think it's more my volume that's been affected, or is it my osmolarity? That's an important physiologic question. The osmolarity is the one in which it is being tightly regulated. Certain times, however, you might have a crossover where you're losing so much volume that the osmolarity is actually sacrificed. All I'm doing here is introducing topics and concepts to you, and as we move on, we're going to obviously plug in the details. The crossover effect is something that we should pay attention to.